Hello and welcome to another power-packed episode about chess composition problems for the hopper. Today we'll be discussing studies, and for that I would want to welcome my guest of honor, Siegfried Hornecker. Hello Siegfried.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, I'm fine.
So,
I'm very honored to be invited by you.
thank you. So he is a German chess composer and a member of the World Federation for Chess Composition Subcommittee for Endgame Studies. He has also made an autobiographical book named Welten Fern. So thank you for joining me on a very short notice. We appreciate it quite a lot.
Well, you're welcome.
So let's delve right into the composition, as this is a endgame study by Siegfried himself, published in the Problem Forum 2009. So let me try to solve it. First of all, I see that it's white to play and win. So if white tries c takes d6, he's going to promote in 2 moves. But black can also take advantage of his passed pawns, connected passed pawns, somehow. So because if the king tries to come back, it doesn't reach in time, of course. So it can't be that for sure. He has to try to get some counterplay using this. So d7, f2 check, king f3, queen, and g3. And guess what? Even though white may be a queen up, it seems as if black is just going to give checkmate, g2 checkmate, and white has no way to stop that. Am I right, Siegfried?
Yes. You're solving very quickly.
So c takes d6 will not be possible. So we have understood black's idea. He wants to play king g3, f2 check, and then g3, g2 checkmate.
Yes.
So is there any way to stop it? Because c6 I think runs to the same thing. c7, check, queen, g3, and again there is no check along this file where it could come to h3 or f5 because of this pawn on f5. So okay, so maybe our plan could be to get rid of this f5 pawn somehow and then go for king to g3, f2 check, and so go for c6, c7, c8, and then stop this in time. So let's try f6 maybe. F6, okay, so if black decides to play g6, then I think c6 works just in time. c7, f2 check, king f3, queen, g3, and now white has queen h3, so pinning the pawn on g3. If white tries to play queen f5, well, of course g takes f5, and that would be a blunder. But I'll ask queen h3, pins the pawn, and also supports the g2 square. So this, but this is stalemate. Oh my goodness, but even though it might feel as if white has saved everything,
Yes.
no. Oh wow, so the king can't move to f4, g4, the pawns can't move either, and this g3 pawn is pinned. So wow, an incredible twist there in the story. And instead of queen h3, there is no other way to stop g2. Okay. So a plot twist indeed. So let's try again. So f6 does not work because of g6. And if f6, g6, and c takes d6, well again, after you promote d8 queen, the queen cannot really come back in time. So, maybe let's try g6. And let's see where that lets us go. So, black will try f6. And if cd6, oh, the king's on g1, my bad. cd6, king g3, d7, f2, king f1, king f3, queen g3. And again, how do you stop this g2 square? Oh, wow. Um,
Well, if you need a hint, let me know.
okay, I'll try my best to figure this out, but yeah, I most likely would need a hint soon. Um,
So back in the day, the magazine Problemforum was run by Wolfgang Bruder.
okay.
He's a very famous German composer, but he's not into endgame studies much. Rather into miniature problems, with up to 7 pieces.
Yeah.
So just some background information here.
Right.
So he
at
had
that
all
time,
kinds of
yeah. Sorry,
Ah.
go on.
Yeah, so he had all kinds of genres in his magazine, but himself he was specializing in direct mate problems.
Oh, right. So what happened to Problem Forum? Is it still there, this magazine?
I don't know. I think it's still there, but maybe it stopped a few years ago. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, let's get back to this problem. Maybe to lend black a move, we could try something like d3 at some point, but that would run into problems of its own because then e takes d3 would happen, d2, d1 queen with check. So that's not gonna be possible either. So how do we stop black from getting into the stalemate stuff? So king f2. So stopping king g3, or better would be king h2, so stopping king h3 as well, and if f2 then king g2. But after that, does black have g3? Most likely not, because after this white can simply play c6, and black is kind of tied up, because if he tries to promote king takes f1, king h3, king g1, and now we have just stopped the promotion square, and white will just promote freely to a queen.
I don't think that's working, but
Yeah, okay, if king h2, but black of course has other ideas possible as well, like g3 check. If king g1, then g2, so if f2 again, king g2, and that will win for white. So instead, black should play g2, and then black is again threatening king g3 and f2 checkmate. So white has to go king f2. And now,
I think king h2 is stronger, but
okay, yes. So king h2 actually stops king g3 and king h3 at the same time.
but instead of g2, I think black has a stronger move.
Okay. Maybe he can try. Okay, the pawn's on c5, I think. Maybe he can try for king h3. So if once black plays g2, king h2 won't be an idea.
Yes.
And so if c6 now, g2, king f2, king h2, and promotion with check. And if he just goes this way, then king g3 and promotion. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, it's checkmate again, and
Yeah.
so you will want to prevent that checkmate.
Haha, yeah. So how should we proceed? If king f2, of course this does not work because of g3 check again, and once he retreat, then king h3, and we transpose into the same position.
Yes.
So, okay. So the main problem is that black is going to run into stalemate. And there is no way to stop it. Is there? I mean, there is a solution, so there has to be, but what is it? Let's try to figure it out. Okay, Siegfried, I have a feeling I would need that precious hint. What is it?
Well, you had it nearly right earlier, but well, let's say you want to avoid the stalemate, but otherwise the line was correct.
Okay, so the line went G6, F6, black plays G6, and now C6, King G3, F2 check, King F1, King F3,
Yes.
and okay, I was thinking here maybe white can try for D3, thinking that if he takes then maybe you see a queen and you get some counterplay. But first of all, he does not have to take. He'll again just play G3. And G2 checkmate, there's no way to stop that.
Yes.
Oh. So instead of a queen promotion, a bishop promotion. G3,
Yes.
bishop H3, and stopping bishop G2. Stopping G2.
Yes.
Oh, and now black is forced to play G2 check. That's important because if black could somehow play king F4, king G4, it would still remain uncertain if white is able to win. But after G2 check, bishop takes G2, king G3. Yeah, this should be won. How though? Bishop
Well,
H1.
It should be, but how do you win?
Yeah. Wait, so white can't play king E2 here. Nor can he play bishop. Is bishop H1 possible? Because after this, black is king H2, attacking the bishop. And if the bishop goes back, king G3, we arrive to the same position. So after bishop H1, king H2, king takes F2, king H1. And so, okay, going to the king side is going to be pointless at some point because white has no squares to go forward. The E5, F5, and the H5 square is well guarded. So he has to go somehow from the queen side. So king E2, king G2.
The issue is that black will just have fun on D2 sooner or later.
Yeah. So this appears to be a draw, I think.
Well, that was not the correct continuation.
Oh, so king E2 was not the correct continuation. Okay.
King takes F2 was not the correct continuation.
Oh, wait, what? In this position instead of...
no, the black king was on... Yes.
This was not the correct continuation. Maybe white can play bishop E4 and hope that D takes E4, king takes F2. But again, black can play D5.
Well, that's
E2.
unfortunate.
King E2, king G3, D3, and take, king F3. And this, of course, I think should arise to... It can't be a white win for sure in this position. Okay, so that's not going to be possible. So maybe after bishop takes E4, D takes E4. White plays D5 himself, but no, king G3, of course, that's bad. So bishop takes E4 does not work.
That's correct.
And bishop G2, then king G3. So the process of elimination, white has one move, bishop f3. Okay, so that makes sense because after e takes f3, we're going to win both these pawns anyways, because king takes f2 and king takes f3, and black remains with two doubled pawns on the d file. So black plays king h3, we take king h4, king f4, and okay, now we just proceed with d3, e4, and then promote.
Yes.
Okay, so
there's another beautiful trap that you didn't fall into.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, I will quickly tell you about it.
Oh yeah, that would be great. One second, let me just get the starting position up just once again. So, oh no bishop. So this was the starting position, yeah.
Yes. After the first few moves, f6, g6. Yes.
c6.
Just continue, please.
Promotion to bishop.
Yes.
Bishop h3.
Yes.
g2, bishop takes g2, king g3. And here?
Yes, and now you might be inclined to play d3.
D3. The idea is simple. If e takes d3, then you try to escape with your bishop. But e takes d3 is the only move, I think. So e d3, bishop d5.
Yes.
And now what?
d2.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're in Siegfried.
Yeah, and then bishop b3.
Yes.
Oh.
And now it's a pretty long variation. King f3.
Yeah.
White plays e4.
What's the idea of e4 though?
It's the best move, but black
Okay.
will take the pawn anyway. But you want to lure him away from f2.
Yeah, so that you can win the f2 pawn. Okay. So king e4. E4.
King takes. Yes, and now comes a very beautiful maneuver, I think. King d3.
King d3.
Yes.
Okay.
The idea is that you want to prevent white from going to e2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So white has a waiting move d5.
Yeah.
And then black just returns to e4.
Oh.
And now he goes after the king side. So king e2, king f5, king takes d2, king takes g5, king e3, king takes f6, and king f4, g5 check, king g4, king g6. It threatens f5 check, so white has to play bishop c2 check.
Yeah.
Black has king f6 again, which threatens king e5, so white has to protect the pawn, bishop e4.
Then king e5?
Yes. So white has to do something, for example, bishop f3. And now you just play king f6 again, and white has no way to advance.
Wow.
So this is a draw, even though he's a bishop up.
Yeah, the king cannot leave its post on g4 because else black will be able to play f5 check. And if the bishop leaves from like the square, he still has to defend the d5 pawn. So white is in this kind of Zeus line.
So that was really lucky when I found that variation.
Okay. So just from the starting position. One second.
So you solved it, but you didn't fall for the best trap.
Yeah, so just from the starting position, the solution does not go c6 or c takes d6 as some might say. It starts with f6, after g6, playing c6 now, king g3, c7, f2 check, king f1, king f3. And now here it's very important to decide a queen or something else. Well, if it's a queen, then after g3, there's white. You might think that, oh, there's queen h3, we have stopped everything. But you have also stopped black's move, and now black is in stalemate. And any other move by the queen just leads to g2. So it has to be a bishop which has to be promoted. And after g3, white can play bishop h3 stopping. But it's not over yet. g2, bishop takes g2, king g3, and it is very important to play bishop h1. King h2, and now bishop f3, doubling black's pawns. Now black has two isolated doubled pawns, and now white can take one, take the second pawn, king f4, just supporting this g5 pawn, and after that just play d3, e4, and advance the pawns. That was a study by Siegfried himself, and that's it for the first video with him on studies.
Thank you.